Look forward to
Oh
that.
yeah.
Do you really want to? Do you really want to taste it? Guess what? This episode is brought to you by Tough
Tough
Wraps.
Wraps.
Do you know what code you could use at checkout to get 10% off?
I think it's Joystick.
Does that apply to gear, apparel, and supplements?
It most certainly does, Ernie.
That's crazy. Are you sure?
Yeah, I would never lie to you
How much
about
percent?
deals.
3%? 2%?
10%.
Oh my goodness, that's such a deal. Use code joystick at checkout. Stay tough. Final round. This is going to get weird. Let's go. By the way, Doctor Strange is our final round this week. Big old trailer just dropped. Another one, plus a TV spot dropped during the Super Bowl.
Yep.
This is the third, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the third title treatment for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. The second one I saw was the words Doctor Strange were actually in the same typeface as Stranger Things, which I was like, who's falling asleep on this one? You can't just copy the word strange from Stranger Things. What are you doing? That's why they switched it up again. But the trailer for this looks bonkers.
Mike and I have been. I alluded to it earlier in the show. Mike and I we were up till like 11 o'clock at night, texting back and forth about this. I have some very serious concerns about this movie.
What parts? You're going to feel like you're on psychedelics, but you're not?
No, it has nothing to do with that. I don't like cameos just for fucking cameos. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't, like, and, you know, Spider-Man No Way Home has been out since fucking December and it's February. So, all bets are off at this point.
That's why the spoilers
Spider-Man-
spoilers up this whole time.
Spider-Man No Way Home worked because it was still a Spider-Man story. And Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in Spider-Man No Way Home made sense to Tom Holland's character development. It wasn't just thrown in there because it's cool to have Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in the movie.
Right.
I'm worried that, and Mike and I went back and forth about this a lot. I'm worried that Multiverse of Madness, while it's in the name, is going to rely too heavily on bringing in ancillary characters from other franchises and relying on them. We already know Patrick Stewart's in the movie as presumably Professor X.
Right.
And Mike and I went back and forth about Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen, because Ian McKellen, as an incredible actor as he is, was a horrific Magneto. Not my Magneto. Magneto's my favorite X-Men and mutant of all time, and Ian McKellen was terrible.
You thought Fassbender was better, right? Obviously.
I liked Fassbender. Nobody has done it great. Like,
Yeah, there's
Magneto
definitely
is just
somebody
impressive.
who...
I like Fassbender for what he was. He was still, like, I mean, like, Mike pretty much hit the nail on the head that he had no fucking charisma. And I get it. There are parts of Fassbender that I really liked. The whole scene in Argentina where he takes the knife and he throws it and he catches it back and then he stabs it in the dude's hand. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah. There's a reason
this movie
Magneto
looks-
gets all these mutants to follow him. It's because of
Right.
that charisma.
He has-
It's that
yeah.
seduction that goes into it. Yeah.
So, and Magneto and Professor X, you know, Mike brought up something. He was like, what if they did Magneto and Professor X kind of like influenced by Malcolm X and Martin Luther King? And like, I have held on to that since he said that. And he was like, Yahya Abdul Mateen should play Magneto, and Lakeith Stanfield should play fucking X. And I was like, dude,
Shit.
I would go broke. Are you fucking kidding me? That's like the best casting I've ever heard in my entire life. I would lose my fucking mind.
That'd be awesome.
I don't want this movie to just be cameos for cameos. Like, keep all of the X-Men from the Fox series out of this movie. I don't want to see Sophie Turner as Jean Grey. She was terrible. I don't want to see that fucking clown as Cyclops. I don't want to see Sean Ashmore as fucking Bobby Drake. I don't even want to see Ryan Reynolds in the movie as Deadpool. I want this to be a fucking Strange versus Wanda movie. Like, what I really don't, and I'm looking at the camera right now. I do not want Tom Cruise in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I do not want him in there.
What if he's only there to be killed? What if we get a cathartic moment where the first time in a long time, Tom Cruise is murdered?
Tom Cruise gets his ass whooped. I mean, so that whole picture and scene where it looks like Superior Iron Man has been like blown up to 8K, and it looks more like Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah.
Than it does.
I would love that to be
Tom Cruise.
I would love that to be.
I would love that to be. I would love it to be.
Well, Iron Lad. Fuck yeah, let's go.
But I want this movie to introduce Namor, as like an actual MCU character. I don't want a just Multiverse of Madness Reed Richards. I want like an actual Reed Richards to set up for the Fantastic Four movies, whether it's John Krasinski or not. Quite frankly, I love the idea of Glenn Howerton. That whole casting rumor that had went around that Glenn Howerton was up for fucking Reed Richards.
Pretty good.
More so than John Krasinski, because I see Glenn Howerton as just being an asshole. Reed Richards,
he's got the vibes, man. We've talked about that before. He's got the wittiness. He's got the like easy to anger. He's got the same kind of like when he's smart in the room, you feel it. But also he could be just a crackpot at the same time.
But yeah, my concerns about this movie is I don't want a bunch of fucking cameo. Like if they're falling through the multiverse and we see like you saw like in the trailer, you're gonna show the picture, the fucking X-Men cartoon, like awesome, all the what if stuff coming in.
Which by the way, you said what if, so it triggers me. I have to change the slide to be what if. And I guess that people have seen, obviously the British Agent Carter Shield. I don't think she deserves to be on the council, and I hate to say that. It's very much somebody's going to perceive that as misogynistic, but these are the greatest minds in the multiverse, right? These are people who are defined to be genius level IQ and beyond, so smart that they're trying to be almost hermetical with their decisions, right?
I would love them to keep the Illuminati. Like, make it regular, make it Stephen Strange, make it Professor X, make it Reed Richards, make it Namor, make it Black Bolt. I'd love to see Black Bolt. I think even Black Panther was on the Illuminati at one point. Bring in another actor to play back Black Panther, even if it's like Eric Killmonger as the what if Black Panther.
It already looks like Mordo's supposed to be there in at the council instead of Strange, because it looks like, based on the statue out front of this building when they show up, like, it looks like Strange is dead. So we're supposed to assume it's this version of Mordo. Obviously, we've seen glimpses of somebody with a staff walking across the council and then going to toe-to-toe with Strange. Is Mordo doing that with the same staff? But we've been bamboozled before by trailers, and I think already we're getting that with this movie. So like, we've seen two different versions of the same interaction already, with just Wanda in the field picking apples with Strange walking up on her, and then we see the exact same interaction, not just a different background, a different color treatment, but Strange's beard is different. If you look at it, and granted, having said that, I'm among those people that like super zoom in on things, and it looks like the same beard treatment, but somebody's just taking the time to Photoshop out corners because the color treatment's just all fucked up. But at the same time, we've seen it before. We thought the Hulk was going to be in Avengers Infinity War, and then all of a sudden he wasn't, right? So, entire characters not being in a film, even though they're in the trailer, that's a great middle finger technique from the Marvel Studio people to keep you on your toes. So everything everybody's saying is with a grain of salt. I wouldn't be surprised if half the time Marvel's just leaking out like really grainy photoshops of characters just to keep us all like spinning on our ass and keeping us being interested. Because quite frankly, if you take 6 hours or 4 hours, whatever, to make a shitty Photoshop and just really reduce the quality of the photo, throw it on the internet, and say it's from somebody at the studio, well, that's free marketing that's probably worth like $500,000. So like, keep doing it.
Whereas on the flip side of that, DC is just leaking full-on set photos of fucking Keaton as Batman.
Dude. Don't even get me started on those photos of Batman. I appreciate Keaton. He still got it. From here up. from here up.
I'm guessing there's going to be some CGI.
I'd have to assume. Because everything below here is like, why is he wearing a trash bag? Like, what is, the stripes are there is like, just to remind you there's supposed to be abdomen here. Like, it's definitely like everything when he's turning and walking, which totally makes sense. You don't have to do that. It's definitely meant to be just so he feels the presence of the suit on, right? But yeah, I digress. Let's see what chat's got to say. I see her being Mahaffey said he sees Carter being a founding member, considering that she has been part of the first person to travel through the multiverse, which makes sense. If we're talking about the what if being like unquantifiably, the first part of this break, and now we've got these years plus the movies and the cracks continue to grow. That makes total sense, and he would love it if the scene in the orchard is just a projection. Of course, that would be dope. Some people are like, huh? And then, of course, the projection is so good that it fools Strange, I think is what he meant, and then Wanda has already broken bad. Fuck yeah. I'm
ready for Wanda to be bad. I'm ready for Wanda to be bad.
I want her to be the fucking badass of this movie so bad.
I want her to fucking destroy.
I think there's a love for Wanda, and I think we as comic readers understand that the Scarlet Witch is, quite frankly, one of the most powerful
literally
beings in
one
the
of the most powerful beings in the universe.
And we've all been waiting for her to really flex that muscle, and she's kind of done it with WandaVision, just a little bit. It's like a pinky finger amount of energy we think she has, and I would love to find out, for the universe to find out that, actually, she's been doing it this whole time, and she's fucking. You're living in this world. You've been watching 10 years of movies that Wanda allowed you to watch. That would be dope.
I'm excited for. I'm excited for the movie. Mike, when Mike and I were wrapping up our conversation the other night, and he was like, maybe just Phase 4 just isn't your bag, and I was like, I mean, it very well could be. It could be that Phase 4 just doesn't hit for me. I think that enough of Phase 4 has really hit for me. The one, like, I liked WandaVision. I felt more aligned with Hawkeye. I love what's going on that side of the MCU, with Kingpin and bringing in Charlie Cox as Daredevil in Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Yeah, which I didn't realize.
I love everything. Yeah,
I didn't realize, by the way, the reason they were able to put those in the movie, and I'm sorry to cut you off. The reason they were able to put that in the movie and in the show is because the Disney agreement with Netflix, come to find out, is like that Disney could not put those characters back in any Disney content or Marvel content because there was a statute that was like, we can only use those characters again after 2 years after a cancellation of the show or content they were creating. So the last time, I think it was 2019, the last time Daredevil was used, same thing with Kingpin. Fast forward 2 years later, now they can use it in Hawkeye and in Spider-Man film. Yeah. So that's the reason March 1st is kind of like a chop. I think that's 2 years for everything coming to an end. So it's very, very interesting stuff. But to your point, I'm sorry to cut you off again.
No. And Mike said, what if Wanda in normal clothes is another creation from Wanda, like when she created Vision? I'm telling you, dude, like the whole Wanda shit, like, it's all weird. Like, nothing is what it seems in any of that trailer. I'm ready for her to just fuck shit up in the MCU.
Hell yeah, man! I would love to find out like that the book, the Necronomicon. Obviously, that's
Darkhold.
Evil Dead. Darkhold. In each universe is different, and I would love to find out that she's been reading all of them from all of the universes that have been cracked and wide open, and she's beginning more and more powerful, more than she already is. And that becomes why the Illuminati is brought in, because they're the only people who tried to stop her in the first place. So,
and the Illuminati's got to be fucking strong. Like, the Illuminati's got to be the strongest. So
that shit's, man. God, I again, if Tom Cruise is superior Iron Man, which makes total sense if it was, man. I mean, if it is Tom Cruise and the superior Iron Man, it would be the suit that allows his face to be shown. You're not going to put him behind a mask, you know what I'm saying? He's always going to be out there.
He's not a good actor.
He's not, but he's got star power. And Scientology would pay a lot of tickets to see that movie. I mean, imagine that blockbuster. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I want to see what other trailers drop. There was so much content that came out this week. We didn't even get to touch on it, but we kind of did with the Batman stuff from Batgirl. Mentioned to you guys about Brendan Fraser being Firefly in that show. There's a lot of stuff coming out.
Uncharted comes out tomorrow.
Uncharted comes out tomorrow.
Ashley and I are going to see Uncharted tomorrow. So,
tell me what it's like to see I think he's 59 now, 59-year-old Mark Wahlberg going toe to toe with Tom Holland.
Fucking got it.
I don't know if you saw the Flip Cup interview with the two of them. Hilarious.
That's awesome.
It was both of them playing playing Flip Cup. They're just flipping cups like you would a solo cup. The female co-star, she's asking questions, and while they're talking and answering questions, they're supposed to be doing Flip Cup. Well, Tom Holland, clearly rookie, he's flipping that cup as high as Spider-Man could, and it's barely landing. But Mark Wahlberg, veteran drinker, is clearly just barely lifting his hand up, and it's flipping over like every time. Bing, bang. Yeah. I'm like, that's how you know. Because I'm sitting there going, like, my technique is the best technique. Is just lift your hand straight up. You don't have to do any, like, real muscle movement. Because that's what Tom Holland was doing. He's showing muscles. And he's just like, bop. There it is, bop. But yeah. Check that out. Oh, no.
That's a show.
Mahaffey just said Uncharted's getting slammed in reviews. I don't know if we have the to come out midnight.
I typically like things that people don't like. I typically like things that people don't like. So.
Yeah. I'm going to watch it some way or another. And I'll be right there with you.
I had a gift card to AMC, so I will be watching it.
Oh, well, as you know, what we call here in RVA West Tower is the worst tower or best tower because it's empty. So I'll probably watch it myself. So, but thanks again, Dom. Episode 32 in the bag. Not too long. Nice and tight. There was like 20
hour and
topics
40,
for
hour and
lightning 30 round. So thanks everybody for tuning in. As always, see you next time. I'm Ernie. This is Dom. Peace.
Peace.